Good morning everyone, this is George Beirut here giving you the market report for Wednesday morning, the 10th of September 2014. Let me start with who we are. We're a stockbroking firm located on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia, and I'll give you a bit more information about the company later in this presentation. Now to the disclaimer. Everything I say here is for general advice and general information only. Before you take any action, please consult with your professional advisor or talk to us directly. A copy of this disclaimer is available to you should you wish to receive it. All you have to do is call the office. Today we continue with the iron ore series. This is actually an editorial. We tell you about the various costs of production for the various companies here in Australia and how they can affect their bottom line. This is part 3. If you wish to receive a copy of the previous 2 parts or receive or review the series that we finished last week on options and how to trade options and everything you need to know about options, again, this is actually placed on the website, and if you're not a subscriber already, you may actually wish to take a 15-day free trial. And prior to the options series, we had also an extensive coverage on the futures market. So if you're interested, either you call us or go to the website and become a member for a 15-day free trial. Let me start now with the data overnight. And we can see that overnight the Wall Street market, the US market, actually fell as bond yields hit their highest level in a month on expectation that interest rate in America could rise sooner than expected. And also we've seen Apple shares falling. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 97 points or 0.6% and finished at 17,013. The S&P 500 ended lower by 13 points and finished at 1,988. This is the first time in days that we've seen the S&P 500 falling below the 2000 psychological level. The Nasdaq, which is a technology index, was down by 0.9%. In Europe, the Stockmarket 50 index that comprises several European major markets was down 0.7% at 3,245. In London, the FTSE 100 index fell by less than 0.1% at 6,829. In Japan, the Nikkei was up 0.3% at 15,749. In China, the Shanghai index was down 0.2% at 2,445. Gold a short time ago was trading at 1,256 US per ounce, and that is steady when you compare the price today to where it was this time yesterday. Silver closed this morning at $19.07, also steady. Crude oil this morning was at 93.1 US a barrel, down 40 cents from this time yesterday, and copper, the world's economic barometer, was at 310.6 cents per pound, and that is down 2% overnight. Iron ore, which is important for our miners such as BHP, Rio, Atlas Iron and Fortescue, was down another 0.4% at 83.2 US a ton. On the currencies, the Aussie dollar was giving you 92.03 US cents, 97.8 Japanese yen, 71.1 euro cents, and 57.2 British pence. And these, of course, are intrabank rates. On our market yesterday, the benchmark ASX 200 index lifted 0.6% or 31 points to close at the day's high of 5,608. The broad all ordinaries gained 0.5% or 30 points to 5,609. The market snapped a 4-day losing streak led by a rally in the miners and the big banks, but a dip in business confidence kept a lid on investors' enthusiasm. The best performer yesterday amongst the leaders actually were AMP, BHP and Rio, all up nearly 1.2%. The worst performer was Newcrest Mines, down 2%. On the economic news today, we see that we have in Australia AIG Services Index and the GDP quarter on quarter data will be released at 11:30. At 1:20 we have RBA Governor Stevens is delivering a speech. Obviously everybody will be interested to hear what he has to say, even though most of the time he doesn't say a great deal that changes a great deal of the opinion that if something happens on the wrong side he will do this, and if something goes on the wrong side he will do the other thing. So it's like, a foot in both doors. Tonight in America we have the factory orders. We also have the retail sales in Europe. So all this data all this announcement can affect the market here and overseas, and obviously it's important to be aware of what announcements are going to be released within the next 24 hours. The next slide that you see what our analysts here at FS Securities puts in terms of our picks and also our trades. This is only a summary of if you want to get more details about any of these companies, you can either call us on the phone number that appears on the screen, or you can actually go to the website and find more about each of those companies. We like to give you an update about the market volume because that really shows the trend over the last 3 weeks. We also like to show you the ratio of advances to declines. It really shows the strength of the momentum and how the buyers and the sellers interact. I believe this is one of many ways to understand the trend of the market. Again, this chart is available on our market report that we send to our subscribers and we place on the website. So what we see here today, if you look at what happened the last 7 trading days, we saw an increase in volume, and during that time we've seen more declines than advances. Then we saw a decline in the volume, and yesterday, even though we had a decline in volume, we've seen a great deal of a change in the ratio between advances and declines. Yesterday we've seen nearly 41% of all the shares that were traded actually advanced and 33% declines. However, you have to take that particular ratio in addition to the decline in volume. The volume 2 days ago was over 2.3 billion transactions over the day, and yesterday was slightly above 1.9, so a decline of nearly 10% in the volume. So I think the two comparison, advances declines ratio with the volume in the market, can give you some idea about the trend in the market. We also like to scan the market and to show you which company yesterday has performed above the rest. Audio Pixel Holdings went up by 9% yesterday. Breville Group about nearly 5%. Aristocrat Leisure nearly 4%. AGL Energy up 2%, and so on as far as the list goes. If you're interested to find out more about any of those companies, all you have to do is call the office. Then we give you a chart or a table to show you the volume of the various companies. We can see that Fortescue Metals, even though with the decline in the price of iron ore, Fortescue Metals seems to have some kind of support slightly below the $4, and every time it goes below $4, for some reason it attracts the attention of traders and investors. Yesterday it was up 1%, and the previous day was also up by close enough to 1%. Yesterday it closed at $4.04 with 25 million shares changing hands. You can go down the list, you can see Billabong, Mervac Group, again high volume, and you can see whether it went up or down. A company that went up by 3.8%, CFS Retail Property Trust. This is a listed trust company. Alright, now we go on to a snap view of the 10 best performing companies and the 10 worst performing companies. A snapshot. We start from the bottom. Buru Energy, which was one of the darling several weeks ago, which jumped quite a bit, is starting to give all that profit away. Buru now has gone down another 3.4% yesterday, and if you compare that with the previous days, I think Buru is now down to where it started before the climb several weeks ago. Newcrest Mines was down 2%, I mentioned it earlier. Horizon Oil down 1.5%. Now we go into the positive side. We have Federation Centers up 3.4%. Alumina 3.8% up. Mount Gibson, another iron producer, nearly 4%. Aristocrat, I mentioned that. Independent. And Regis Resources, which is interesting that it's a gold producing company, went up by 8%. So when we see these sort of things happening here, we like to look at the announcement and see what really triggered that particular rise in the price. So if you want some help to find out more about those companies, all you have to do is call the office. We also like to show you what happened with the sectors. Yesterday most sectors were up. We start with the negative first. We have the gold sector was down 1.2%. We have the energy was down and the industrial was down. And on the positive side, going down this list, we see that the metal was up 1.1%. The healthcare, thanks to CSL, which recovered nearly 1% yesterday, the sector was up 1.1%. Followed by materials. So it seems to me that even though the iron ore prices have actually declined quite a bit, it seems like people are more interested now in the metal and the mining sectors. And BHP yesterday was actually up by 1%, and Rio was up by 1% as well. So it looks like there is a good possibility that iron ore prices will probably stabilize in the next few weeks, and it bringing the interest back into the mining sectors. There could be other factors involved as well. Remember that BHP and Rio don't only produce iron ore. However, the profitability depends very much on iron ore prices and the volume that they sell to China. Alright, well that's all from us here at FS Securities. Let me tell you who I am. My name is George Bairuthi. I'm the director here at FS Securities. As you can see, I have many years of trading and investment experience and several qualifications to support what I offer my clients. My ambition today is to help our clients and prospective clients to become effective investors and traders. Who we are? Well, we are, as I mentioned, we are a stockbroking firm. We are fully licensed. We have our own license, and obviously our ambition is to protect everything we say and everything we give our clients to protect our license. So we trade shares, options, commodities, CFDs, foreign exchange, and we offer our clients a very attractive investment at 7% return over 1 year, interest paid monthly. This is our managed investment fund. And also we offer a 9% return over 3 years, interest paid monthly. Also we are financial planners and cater for all your financial needs. So it's a one-stop shop. How to reach us? Well, you can call us on our landline, 61 for Australia, 7 for Queensland, 5630-4141. That's our landline number. Alternatively, you can call me on my mobile. I'm available to be reached 7 days a week, and that is of course provided I'm not playing tennis or playing bridge or dining out or at the movies. You see, I have also a life beside being here in the office. Or you can write to me at george@fssecurities.com.au, and I mentioned earlier you can visit our website www.fssecurities.com and become a member for a 15-day free trial. And if you like what you see, we offer you our daily recommendations, our daily scans, our current trading positions and results. You will also see our tutorials, our editorials, our education webinars, and many charts and informations. So why don't you register today for the 15-day free trial. Now I'll finish off by saying to you happy trading and happy day. And I'll be back again at 1:15 to tell you what happened during the morning, and of course this will be recorded and placed on the website.